JasherMaccabees here. Do you remember the TV show, The Dukes of Hazzard? That little catchphrase song, just the good old boys. Been in trouble with the law since the very first day they was born. Anyway, do you know that Dukes are in the Bible? Take a look at Genesis 36. There's a handful of verses in there. Take a look at the whole chapter. Genesis 36, you can look at verse 1, verse 8, 9, 15, 19, 43. Dukes are mentioned 42 times in Genesis 36. But what countries have dukes? What countries have dukes? Spain, Portugal, France, Italy, Greece, Belgium, Germany, the United Kingdom, Sweden, Bohemia, Austria, the Netherlands. Whew. There might be some more, but interesting. Here, a couple of side notes. I got a handful of side notes. Didn't the United States, Israel, and Argentina vote against the United Nations, declaring that the transatlantic slave trade was the greatest crime against humanity? I'm just putting all these little pieces together like these cards. Put all these little puzzle pieces together. Another question. Did the Catholic Church help send Nazi leaders to Argentina? And they call that rat lines. Crazy. I didn't say hood rat. I said rat lines. Crazy. Okay, the Catholic Church and the Vatican did 3 things to help the Nazis. And all of these things cost money. They gave fake Vatican identity documents to these Nazis. A couple more things. They gave them fake passports and visas. Last thing, they gave safe houses in the monasteries in Argentina. Did the Catholic Church promise to forgive the sins of those who fought in the Crusades? And the Crusades is another word. Let me see what I wrote down. Wow. Another word or another form of European colonization. It's kind of like we got to go out further and further, take more and more territory and hold the cross, but go that way. Go this way. Go this way. The answer is yes. The Catholic Church remitted all the temporal punishment in purgatory associated with the sin for anybody who fought for them in the Crusades. Recently, and I'm just putting a bunch of little facts together, didn't the Catholic Pope apologize without any form of restitution? And I started looking up the word restitution. I'm like, the Bible uses the word restitution because it says it's an outward proof of a sincere apology, genuine repentance. So I start thinking, I'm like, wow, so the Catholic Church had money and resources for Nazis, but they don't have money and resources for Negroes/Israelites related to the transatlantic slave trade. Revelations 13:10 says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." I'm just reading. Luke 19:1-10. I'm just going to give you a little piece. It shows Zacchaeus, which was a tax collector back in the day. He promised to give half of his wealth to the poor and repay anyone he cheated fourfold. Let me say that again. Fourfold. That's what this guy Zacchaeus promised in biblical times for restitution. Another verse you can take a look at on your own is Exodus 22, 1 through 15. Here's another one. Numbers 5, verse 6 through 8 says, Yahuwah commanded, he make a command that when a person wrongs another person, they must confess their sin, make full restitution for the harm caused, and add 20% penalty to the wronged party. 20%. Okay, Romans 9:13 says, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Malachi 1, verse 2 and 3 says, was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, or that's in KJV, Yahuwah, saith Yahuwah, yet I have loved Jacob, and I hated Esau. This is what it says in Malachi 1, verse 2 and 3. You got to take a look at the whole chapter of Obadiah. Read the whole chapter. It's a real short chapter. Couple of songs. Song title is Amos 3, 1 and 2 by Hezekiah. Last song is Hearken by Hezekiah. Again, you gotta read that whole chapter, Obadiah. It talks about one brother, basically doing wrong by his other brother, Esau doing wrong by Jacob. And Yahuwah saying, hey, he's gonna make everything right in the end. All praises to the Most High Yah.